Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rocha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and labor in this word and doctrine. So this video should be a fairly quick video. We're just going to go over how there are hairstyles that are unlawful, or like it is a hairstyle, which is to get lineups and whatnot. Excuse me, getting a bit itchy there. So it's unlawful to get a blade zero on the edges, okay, of your hair and your beard to get shape ups and whatnot. I'm sure I'll title this video something like hair lineups / shape ups unlawful. And we're gonna start with I want to start with this real quick. 1 John 5. No, I'll go from the top. 1 John chapter 5 from the top. It says, "Whosoever believeth that Yahweh Shai is Hamashiach is born of the Most High, and everyone that loveth him, that begat, loveth him also, that is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the children of the Most High, when we love the Most High, and keep his commandments." Right? For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. And as the scripture says, I believe is it Matthew 11 and 30. Matthew chapter 11 and verse 30. It says, "For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And Yahweh Shai, to be bound to Yahweh Shai, it shouldn't be a burdensome thing. We have to go through afflictions in this world, of course, but that should be something we should be prepared for. We should be down for all that, man, as long as we get eternal life as promised, right? So I'll read 1 John 5 and 3 again. "For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous." Right? They're not burdensome. And this is not a burdensome thing to do. But really, the reason why a lot of brothers don't want to hear it is because they don't really want to believe it. They don't want to hear it. It's not in them to believe it. And they don't like to hear stuff like that because it means that they have to then not look the way they want to look. They want to start, glorifying things that are just really vanity. What does vanity mean? It means to be worthless, have no value. And it's funny because people who do a lot with their hair style, their eyebrows, or women who put makeup on a lot, people who try to look a certain way with their outfits and whatnot, even their bodies. What do they usually even say themselves? They say, "I'm vain," and then they're basically saying, yeah, they're worthless. They don't see worth in themselves, so they have to do all this extra shit, to make them have self-worth. But the scriptures, man. The scriptures make it clear, if you can get Leviticus 19:27, that we're not supposed to make borders on our hairs and beards. That's a very simple commandment, and we're supposed to follow it, man. Okay, because again, it shouldn't. If the yoke is easy, what are you doing? Okay, if we're supposed to follow Yahweh Shai, who was sinless, then we're supposed to do the same thing, because Yahweh Shai wasn't getting no line up, shape up.
Right, Leviticus 19, verse 27. "Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither thou shalt mar the corners of thy beard."
Yep. So let's go to that word round. Okay. And that word is nakwap. Nakwap. To strike off.
Skin.
There you go.
To go around, to compass, round.
Right. To compass around. Keep going.
To make the round, complete the circuit. To make a round off.
There you go. So when something is then striking around about, because it says strike off. In fact, if you look at the translations about it, it will say compass, go round about, go about,
enclosed,
destroy, kill. There you go. So in other words, it's saying to actually make cuttings, right? And it says the corners. In fact, can you get the verse again, Baksha? Just right there. So ye shall not round the corners of your heads. All right. Now, what are the corners of your head? Let's go to that word for corners. This should be a good one, because some people will say you can get lineups, just not like all of it. Well, it says corners, and that word there is the word pa'ah. Pa'ah. Yeah, that's obviously that ain't gonna be right. Pa'ah mean corner, edge, side, quarter, extremity. The edge, quarter, extremity. Like when we say the four quarters of the earth, and it's the extremity of it, right? The uttermost parts. So the uttermost part of your hair is not there, bro. I mean, it might be if you're getting bald, but for me, as example, it's not. All right, I can't call that part the edge when it's clearly the edge over here. Okay, these people say, "Oh, but I'm lining up just like over there." Well, that's the edge, and then you're doing it for the sake of vanity, man. Like, it's stupid, man. You look even stupider with fucking razor bumps on your face anyway, man. Keep going.
Neither thou shalt mar the corners of thy beard.
Right? Neither shalt thou mar. Let's get that word mar. Shathath means to destroy. Here you go. Corrupt, go to ruin, decay. And that's an example that would refer to Ajri anyway. To be mad, be spoiled, be corrupted, be corrupt, be injured, be ruined, be rotted. To spoil, to ruin. So it goes into all these things. And how are you doing that with edge? How are you doing that if you're making cuttings of your hair on the edges of your head? Okay? I mean, it's quite clear, man. And then it's again when it says the corners again, it's the same word, pa'ah, which means extremity. In fact, let's go. If you go to that word, Babakasha, for pa'ah one more time and look at different times that scripture comes up, because it's translated to side 64 times, corner 16 times, quarter 4 times, end once, part once. And if you just look at the different times it's being used, there's many, man. Let's think of a really clear, precise one as well. There you go. Saying corner for a certain time. I'm trying to get a very clear one. If I look at this as an example, right? When it reads in Jeremiah 49:32, and the camel shall be a booty, and the multitude of their cattle a spoil, and I will scatter into all winds them that are in the utmost corners. Now again, utmost corner, what's that right there? That word pa'ah is for corners. And I will bring the calamity from all sides thereof, saith Yahweh. So again, uttermost sides and corners. So if we're told not to do that on our heads and our beards, then that would have to be very clear, right? Getting a shape up, a line up is a sin. It's a transgression of the law, which is what sin is. 1 John 3:4. It says, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. Right? But there's of course 1,000 excuses you can make, but they don't mean anything, man. Alright? So now you know that, you know, don't be getting lineups, don't be getting hair lineups or on your beard, okay? You can of course trim it down. Hey, if you got like a fade type thing, because obviously if you can't do the corners, it means you can't do the hair. If you got blade 0, it's going off. But if you got a blade 1 or like a blade 2, and then it goes up to more hair, that's okay too if you want to do that, you know. Or yeah, just, you know, trim your, you know, you probably see me, I just trim it pretty short, you know, and then just keep it growing the same time. You can do that as well, you know, it's not really that deep, but of course, yeah, I'm getting this quick preset real quick. Did you have like, did you get Leviticus 10? I'm pretty sure it's there. Because another thing to bring up, another hairstyle which gets people annoyed to listen to, man. This is Sirach 32:17. The sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. And that's what a lot of brothers do. I've spoken to this with quite a few people. I recall one in my head, you know, who just wouldn't want to hear it. He said it doesn't mean like that to me. And he said the stupidest, he said, I've not been judged for it just yet. Now that's crazy, man. You know? What's his Ibn Zahab? That's what he calls himself now, some shit like that. Bro, what the hell, man? How prideful could you get? Hey, we've been sinning when we're in the world the whole time. Okay? We fall off sometimes. We not fall out of this truth. We fall in this truth. I'll get a precept since I'm sounding a bit stupid there. Proverbs 24:16, I believe. Proverbs chapter 24. Verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So, you know, that's what's going on right now. You wicked as hell, Ibn Zahab, man. You couldn't even listen to a basic instruction because you're a fucking effeminate dude who's obsessed with getting lineups, obsessed with fades and getting waves and shit. That shit is so fucking. That shit is very fucking weird, man. Like, as a man, we're not supposed to focus on our hair so much. You know, it's not what we glory in. In fact, the beard is really some of that shows our masculinity, and we're not supposed to be obsessed with our beards either. You know, it's just weird, man. You know, it's like, how could you look at this word and then go about and just think, oh, you know what? But hair lineups are so cool, and he doesn't, you know, he didn't want to teach, he didn't want to do no videos, he just wants to talk about lineups, and fades in waves. Sirach 5:1. Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. Okay? And it says, and say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. See, like, all your works, man, you're going to get judged for eventually. How fucking embarrassing could it be that you just couldn't follow something basic, like don't get a lineup? Verse 4, say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long-suffering, he will in no wise let thee go. Alright, and I believe, 1 second. No, that's it on that. That's it on that. And that's just kind of the point, you know. If you're saying, oh, the Most High hasn't judged me yet, well, yet you can't even keep something basic. Can you get Leviticus? I think it's Leviticus 10:5. Can I just look real quick, bro? Okay, it's clearly not that. 6. Can you read verse 6, please?
Come. Leviticus chapter 10, verse 6. And Moses said unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar, his sons, uncover not your heads.
Now, what again? It does say that this is being spoken unto the Levites. Okay, and why is that? It's because they're priests. But we're all kings and priests as a nation. All right, the Levitical priesthood is not established right now. The Levitical priesthood shall not be established in the kingdom. We're under a different order. Okay, order Melchizedek. We shall be established fully in the kingdom. But right now, we're supposed to bear an image of kings and priests. Now, uncover not your heads might seem very confusing. So we're going to go to the Hebrew word. So it's not just surface level information. We're going to dig proper into it, man. As Jake says in the world, we're going to get surgical with it. We're going to cut deeper. Get into that word uncover. Now, this word parai, okay, parai, it can be it can be kind of, all over the place for some people who's a bit like, I don't really quite get it. But if you just read the second part, Babakusha.
To let go, let loose, ignore, let alone.
So to let alone, to ignore, to let loose. Now to let loose doesn't always mean to let literally like a loose strand. It could also mean to, loosen the binding thereof or like loosen a sense where you're not, well, in this case, you're not observing it, alright, you're not tending it after it. And now to have uncovered hair, or specifically, parai hair in that context, is to basically neglect it. And in fact, look at that, it says there, neglect, avoid and neglect. Alright, so there you go, so neglect your hair. Now, what is the one way, okay, one kind of hairstyle that people make YouTube videos of throughout, like, fucking all the time, that you can neglect your hair? It also, you have to make the conscious effort to neglect your hair. And I know this because I've had this fucking hairstyle. For you to get this hairstyle, you have to neglect it. What is it? It's fucking dreadlocks, man. Dreadlocks are fucking disgusting. They're unlawful, man. The priests didn't have it for a reason. It's because it's a bad look, man. They're supposed to have that image of kings and priests. And bro, hair, like when you get fucking turdlocks, man, this shit is not good for your scalp at all, man. This shit is it's yanking up that scalp, it's pulling. It's just your hair isn't really breathing properly, man. Everyone thinks that their dreadlocks are clean. Everybody, until they cut them off, then they see shit inside. Again, that's me as well. I thought my dreadlocks were fucking squeaky clean. Then I cut them off and I saw the inside there was still a bit of dry skin, dandruff, bit of product I think as well. It's you can't escape it. And man, I'm telling you, man, when I cut them off, I don't know how much I missed this right here. Just to be able to do that. It's like you just needed your fucking hair to just have some life, man. Just breathe. If you ever, I wonder if you're actually gonna get up. Were you gonna get a picture? What were you about to do, bro?
I was just looking into the unhealthy unhygiene of dreadlocks.
Can. You know what's a good idea? If you can get a picture of a neglected dog as well, Babakusha.
Actually, yeah.
Because when dogs get neglected, when there's a neglected dog and it's under the tokens of animal cruelty, what happens to his hair? That's an example right there. Look at that, show him that, man. That looks like some of you Benjaminites out there. I don't know if you can see that properly. I don't think they can, Maybe if you turn the brightness down, Bakusha, maybe vertical the thing. Yeah. they should be able to. Oh man, that's actually Jake's hair, man. Some of you Jakes have hairstyles just like that. You see that? It becomes matted. It gets knotted together, matted and all fucking dirty, man. Because it wasn't taken care of. It wasn't tended after. You call it natty dry. It's not natural, man. What's fucking natural about you wanting to do this, but you're forcing yourself not to do it, so knots can come in your hair? You must be out of your fucking mind if you think that's natural, man. You know, I believe Mashal was telling me this,
right?
Because I thought, when Banyaman said natty, I thought they were talking about like natural, but they're talking about knotted. I didn't even know that, but yeah, that's they be But they say they do like the mostly people who believe in fucking Selassie, they will actually have this idea that it is a natural thing. You know, when you have dreadlocks, it's natural. No, it isn't. It don't come out your scalp like that. You put a finger through it for a second. It don't do that, man. You know, it's not a normal thing at all. It's a neglected hairstyle, and we're not to have it, man. So if you've got dreadlocks and you didn't know it, cut them shits off, and I will be very. I don't think I know a person who really regrets it. Really and truly cuts them off and he's like, oh, I really miss my dreadlocks, because they're fucking disgusting, man. They're really gross. They are. They're once you get rid of them, you start to really properly realize it, man. And I used to have them when I used to believe in like Rastafarian doctrine, man. I want to if you get some of the uses, there's one. Oh, I think I know what we need to get out. Now, read Exodus 32 and 25 about Aksha.
And when Moses saw that the people were naked.
And why is the word naked the word parai? It's because they were neglected, why they were let loose, right? Their shame was born because they weren't tended, right? Excuse me for always itching my leg. It says, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies. Alright? So that's why it was translated to naked. But for the most part, I believe it is translated to refuse, actually 3 times refuse and 3 times uncover. So for the most part. Also avoid once. Alright? Set at naught, perish. And some will say, maybe it's like bald head. But Leviticus 21 and 5, for example. If you I'll get it real quick, I'll read it. If you just want to get Leviticus 21 and 5, because Leviticus 21 and 1 is where we should look at first. Leviticus 21 and verse 1, and Yahweh said unto Moses, speak unto the priests, the sons of Aharon, and say unto them, there shall none be defiled for the dead among his people. That's verse 1. So now we're reading, he's talking to the Levites again. Verse 5 says, they shall not make boldness upon their heads. Again, but we're kings and priests. Alright? So we're not to make boldness. And when we do a lineup, it's not fully boldness. It's still striking the corner, okay? It's rounding and compassing the corners, and it's making some level of boldness, okay? It's not our custom, man. It's not something that we did. It's some of the other nations would do. Hey, the Hamites, they do shit like that. Boldness, there you are. That word for boldness, korah.
Boldness, bold, simply.
Yeah, simply, yeah, it's bold. So, we're supposed to bear image too, not have boldness. Not make us. If you have boldness, if you're getting bold, then
that's different.
Yeah, it's a different thing. But if you're making yourself bold, then it's also a different thing. But it's certainly not the right thing to do, man. It's going off. Leviticus 21:5. They shall not make boldness upon their head, neither shall they. Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. And what's the word for corner? Pa'ah. Is it? Oh, there you go. Pa'ah. Corner, side, edge, core. There you go. So it's your head and your beard, man. And that's the lesson. It should be very clear. If it's not clear, then hey, man, let's see some videos. Let's make a video then. Make a video. Let's see you break it down clearly and precisely, because it looks like it's one of the most clear things you can really break down, man. And a lot of you are going to ask, well, why? Why do we have to do it? Because the Lord said so. The Lord doesn't have to come down and then give you, write you an essay and a letter and explain to you why he does what he does. He can do whatever he wants. And he's explained it, it's been written in a manner where we're claiming through faith that we're the mouthpiece of the Lord to actually teach this and break it down through the Hebrew for you to follow, man. So like this is some of that. If you don't have faith in this, it's I mean, I've said it many times. It's very basic, simple stuff. But hey, you know, the truth really isn't for everyone. Even the most basic things, it's not for everyone to get. But you know, when you go off in one little thing, it's a problematic thing. Even this little thing right here, and we should be happy because we can't be justified by the laws, but we should be then striving to complete the laws. And something basic like that should make you happy. Or at least I'm not doing that anymore. You know, it should be a struggle for you to do this. It's a struggle for people in the world to do this because they're worldly. Hey, when I go to the barbers, man, I always tell them before, no lineups, like no zero, no lineups, no zero anyway. Just sometimes like usually 1, 2, whatever. Sometimes I'll change it up sometimes. So I'll just play 1 and play 2. But then I hear that, oh, I always have to do that. What's that? And you copy. Oh no shiba. I said no, just 1 and 2, and just to break out the awkwardness, I'm like, you know, you're making your job even harder today or whatever. Or just making, because let's be honest, they're gonna get kind of weird about that. What? No lineups? You know, very weird, man. Very weird world where people don't even understand basic stuff like that, man. That somebody wouldn't want to line up. Galatians 5:9, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. And what that means is that, that leaven is what it's symbolizing is some form of wickedness, some sin, something that's going to hinder that, that dough. Not necessarily, that's not necessarily what leaven does. Well, it could do. There's time and place for everything, right? But, we know that when you put leaven in bread, in dough, I should say, like yeast, it will then make that dough rise. You knead your dough with some yeast, you put it in the fridge. After a while, it rises quite a lot, man. Just a little bit. Makes the whole dough rise up, man. All right? So, I think the individual may be here. So I'll pause it, then we'll close out. Yeah, so I think that was it on that. If you got anything.
I got one precept.
Let's get it.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 19.
70 bucks, should start there.
Can. These are the words of Yahushua. Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
So don't think that Yahushua has come to completely destroy, to co-opt the law, to just, completely just terminate it, okay? So now you can get lineups and shit. Go ahead.
Or the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
I am not come to destroy,
right?
But to fulfill.
Right, because he's come to fulfill the things that are written and whatnot, man. Okay, go ahead.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments... Right, because since these laws are not to be done away with, okay, and there's someone out there teaching, giving a little bit of leaven, okay, which leaveneth the whole lump, a little bit of false doctrine makes the whole doctrine false. Because remember, Yahushua teaches the doctrine. And if Yahushua be in us, we should know the doctrine, because only one doctrine, there's only one body of teachings. Go ahead. And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. The least, the lowest, the least of the kingdom of heaven. Again, going to that reincarnation, there will be people reincarnated in the kingdom. Okay. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Right. That's pretty much it, really. So, Lord willing, this video was edifying, man. Now you know. All right, cut off those dreadlocks. Just don't get lineups and shape up. It's that simple, man. It's a simple law. We should be very joyful that we can keep something. Like how it, just like that the brother did a video on the dietary laws. We should be happy that there's something we can do. There's something we can strive to do, I should say. So, with that, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash. With double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and labor in this word and doctrine. Shalom Barakat L'Habachayar Hagawiyah Yasharala, meaning peace and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Mawaf L'Babal. Shalom. Shalom.